Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Well, we have an interesting one for you today. Today we are going to explore the brand new Jones Road by Bobbi Brown, What the Foundation. We got a lot to talk about, and it is another complexion product, so of course it's time for our confetti and our party horns. If you're new to my channel, we started in January talking about all of these brand new complexion and foundation releases, and I kept putting up confetti and party horns, and it's just kind of continued. It's almost like a little bit of an inside joke now on the channel when I do a complexion product. Do you know that since the start of 2022, we have had, that I have personally reviewed, now around about 30, I kid you not, 30 foundations. I'm not counting, when I say complexion, I guess I could mean concealer too. I'm not counting that. So this is not the 30th, but darn near close to the 30th foundation. So you got a lot out there to choose from, and this product has a very particular customer in mind, which we will talk about. You will love this product if you are a customer for this product. I'll explain that as we go along. Okay, so what is the Jones Road? They're calling it as a joke kind of the what the F, but its full name is What the Foundation. It has 12 shades. I picked up shade Beige, which I'm going to show you in a minute. It is $44. Super easy to find your shade. Two ways to find your shade. If you are a Jones Road fan and you own the everything stick, the pencil sticks, I have a video on this that I'll link below. This brand, in fact, is probably at this point really about 2 years old, about the age of my channel actually, because I started covering it around its inception. So it's about 2 years old. And I do have a video on me using the everything pencil stick. I put it on with moisturizer, so it's kind of made to go with this kind of moisturizer-like foundation. And so there's two ways to find your shade. You could go on the Jones Road website and take a quiz. There's only 12 shades. They're very stretchy, so it's easy to find your shade that way. Or if you already own the Everything pencil, it will recommend. I own the Everything pencil in shade 8 and 10. We're going to use 8 today over this shade Beige, which is the one I chose. So this is a tinted moisturizer balm foundation. And it's made to work with her face pencil, and it works really well with it. You can see it there. It's not going to come out, but it is not a cream. It's kind of light, medium, buildable coverage. It's very, very buildable. It's more coverage than a tinted moisturizer, but less than a traditional foundation. And let me just kind of show you what it looks like here on my fingers. See that? It's really kind of thick. And when it goes on my hand, this is the shade, again, this is the shade Beige. You can kind of see it there. Almost looks like a cream, maybe on the camera, but don't be fooled. This is definitely, it feels like a tub of moisturizer if moisturizer had color. Okay, think of not a nighttime moisturizer, think of a morning moisturizer that you would put on your face that sits in a tub like this. That is the feel. The scent, this is natural beauty, clean beauty. So we don't have any fragrances to cover anything up. So it has that somewhat botanical fragrance that you would be used to if you have used other Jones Road products, okay? It's not my favorite smell, but I understand that's because there's no fake dyes and perfumes and things to cover up, and it does dissipate, but it's kind of a herbal, botanical scent is the only way I can kind of describe that. What I want to do now is I want to show you how I apply this. I'm actually going to use my hands, clean hands, and I won't pull on the skin. There's a bunch of ways that you can use this, but we'll talk about it, and we are going to apply it in the demo with the Everything Face Pencil as it's meant to kind of coordinate with that. Then afterwards, I want to take a wear test. Hopefully we can get about 6 or so hours, 5-6 hours in of wear. We'll talk about how it wears, and I'll tell you who I think this product is for, because it has a very specific customer in mind actually, and if you are that customer, you will love this product. Enough stalling, let's go to the demo. So before this demo, I really did my homework and I watched a lot. You gotta learn from the experts, right? It looks like both Bobbi Brown and the models that she's using are using their hands a lot. Now Bobbi Brown has brushes for the Jones Road collection, and you can use a brush, a beauty blender, you know, whatever you want, but they're using their hands a lot, which really suits that whole Bobbi Brown minimalist philosophy. So that's what we're going to do too, especially because this is really very much like a moisturizer. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and this is really me trying it for the first time. I'm not going to lie, I touched a little bit from the cap onto my face to see if it was the right shade, and it appears to be, but I haven't actually worked with it yet. Okay, and it's got that botanical scent that we discussed. So I just took a little chunk kind of off the cap, and I'm just going to kind of touch it around, and it really very much has the feel of a cream or a moisturizer. It has a skincare feel, and that's kind of skincare scent as well. Please know I'm not being rough on my skin. I know that sometimes that comes across on camera as being rough, but I'm definitely being very gentle, especially around the eyes. This is has an interesting kind of feel to it. Absolutely feels like I'm putting on moisturizer, and that is why I can tell you right now why it will be good with the Everything face pencil. Okay, let's put a little bit more on, and there's frankly enough on the cap. This has a little thing you peel off it. I'm just going to put a little bit more on my cheeks, which are a little bit ruddy today, and around my nose, because this is a very buildable foundation. Okay, my question about this is I wonder if it needs to be powdered, because it feels very much like a moisturizer. So I want to say a little bit sticky, but you know, that's okay. Okay, so we're just going to wear it as is now. We can experiment with other things later. I have 2 of the pencils, and I'm going to use the number 8. I have the 8 and the 10. Funnily enough, I don't have the 9. So I am going to use, word to the wise, as I use my sweater here. Take the cap off the pencil before you, if you're going to use your hands. They were a little slippy there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this, and I'm going to use the pencil just like we would here, and very gently there, just kind of tapping and patting. Nothing aggressive. This is the skin around the eyes. Do not worry, I do know that. And I'm just kind of using this the way I did in my video on the original face pencils, which I use them over moisturizer. And this kind of feels like that same process. Because these pencils are a traditional pencil, they kind of need the slip of some sort of either a moisturizer underneath it, or of this foundation balm. And this is a really nice feeling foundation. The only thing I'm kind of curious about is what happens to it if you don't powder it, because it feels kind of like it needs a powder, but Jones Road is not advising one. So I think it's just supposed to have that kind of dewy feel to it, but it doesn't look too dewy, does it? It doesn't look too glowy. All right, I'm putting this little pencil kind of wherever I need it. I have some blue veins that kind of show there. I don't know anyone else in my family that does, but I feel like it must be genetic. I must have inherited it from someone. Okay, and I'm going to put on actually a face of Bobbi Brown makeup. So we're going to go really, really just kind of gentle with this, and put on some of her other Jones Road makeup with this, not the namesake brand, as that's in different hands now, of course. And I'm going to wear this because I'm kind of curious what happens as the day goes on. Does it stay kind of dewy and balmy? You know what it is? It's I can tell you already. It's kind of settling in. Look, it's really it's definitely perfected my skin, but it absolutely feels, and we've used the face pencil now too, it absolutely feels like a moisturizer. It's a nice feeling, but a moisturizer on the skin. But just as moisturizer kind of settles in, this is kind of settling down too. So at night or in the morning when we put on a moisturizer, it doesn't stay that dewy or tacky feeling, right? And that is what I feel happening here. I am going to put on, like I said, a full face of Jones Road makeup now, which you will see first applied in the beginning of this video, but we'll wait to film the end portion for quite a few hours so we can see how this stuff, this foundation, holds up. So stay right there. Okay, it has been 6 hours, and I did reapply a touch of the Jones Road lip and cheek stain on my lips, but other than that, I have touched nothing. All right, so I have a lot to say. If you want the immediate feeling of kind of moisturizer on the face to go away quickly, this can be powdered down. But if you feel the need to powder it down, it's probably not the foundation for you. I would say about a half hour into wearing it, it became extremely soft, like a moisturized face, like when you're medium moisturizer, not a night moisturizer, but like when your medium weight morning moisturizer kind of sinks into your skin, that feeling. Really moisturized, really soft and pretty, while feeling a little bit dewy. And I would say that feeling is for the most part still there. My skin feels like it's been treated and nourished. That's a good thing. If you want to, you can powder that down. But if you really, really want to, it's probably not your product. Do you understand what I mean? It is meant to be very natural, very dewy, and I feel really fresh-faced. It does not feel like a tinted moisturizer, which is much more moisturizer and less of a tint. This is definitely a foundation. I mean, look at my skin. It wasn't looking great when I first put it on. It's definitely perfected. It's stayed that way. It does not sink into lines, so I didn't feel that I had to go around fixing this or that it, crept up under my eyes. Remember that I did use it with the Everything Face Pencil. But it does show a little bit of texture. So the areas where I have enlarged pores, you can see it doesn't make them worse, but it does not make them better, and it doesn't want to. The whole Bobbi Brown Jones Rose aesthetic is natural, dewy skin. In fact, if you look, a lot of her models will even have a kind of visible, I want to say blemish, but that's not it. I mean, she's not making, obvious photos like that, but they'll have something on the face, like a little red mark or something, or like a little blemish that's not even covered, because Bobbi Brown really believes in seeing our skin and in natural beauty. So this isn't supposed to be a pancake foundation that covers everything. It isn't supposed to be perfectly powdered and perfectly coiffed. That's not the point of this makeup. That's why I said if you feel the need desperately to powder down that feeling, it does certainly feel moisturized now. But if you feel that need, you can powder it down, but it's probably not your product. The idea is, and if you want to constantly cover blemishes on the skin or imperfections or texture or pores, this doesn't emphasize them. Please do not misunderstand me. But it is, I do see some of the enlarged pores. The camera probably doesn't pick it up, but I do see them. It doesn't bother me. So in that sense, it's very much keeping with the Bobbi Brown minimalist, see your skin, live your life, just feel a little bit more confident and pretty aesthetic. And I really think this goes with it. So you kind of have to know if this is going to be your product, if that makes sense. And if this is your product, you will really enjoy this. If you enjoy that natural beauty, I like the fact that it has that really nice kind of light to medium coverage and is very buildable, and I think it wears even better as the day goes on. So I did think it started out a little bit sticky, and I'm not a huge fan of that kind of botanical fragrance, but the fragrance goes away and the fragrance is natural. Frankly, I shouldn't brag about not liking that fragrance. It means that I'm kind of used to fragrances and additives that are not in clean beauty. So, I understand it, and it does dissipate. And that slightly sticky, moisturized feeling will definitely dry down to a kind of softer skin. Like I feel like I've just had some sort of a treatment or a facial, if that makes sense, and we're 6 hours in. I did not do a lot of makeup. That is not the point. This is definitely kind of your everyday, but you need a little more coverage than a tinted moisturizer. That's kind of the best I can do. Do I like this or the Wayne Goss? You guys, you can't compare them. That is a cream foundation that is a much more perfected look meant to be used with a powder. You cannot compare them. They are very, very different products. Can you compare this to a traditional liquid foundation? No. This is definitely its own beast. Think a moisturizer that happens to perfect your skin. That's what it feels like when you're wearing it. That's what it looks like. Does not sink into lines, but does show some texture in the skin or pores, just a little bit. Doesn't emphasize, but shows them a little bit. That's probably the best I can do, but in terms of explaining it, but I'm very, very happy to answer questions below. Super easy to find your shade. Do I recommend this product? Absolutely, but I do think you need to make sure you are the customer for it first. I can help you decide that down below as well. So definitely, please leave your comments and questions below, and I will definitely get to all of them. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that we don't miss you in any of the upcoming videos. Bye-bye.